Sookie now. Ooh-wee. Well, I'm excited, man. We got some of the best in the building. We got DMV. We got AMP. And I really do believe this is the show of the year. I mean that, bro. Because we're talking about the winning formula. DMV, what's on your mind, brother?
Hey, I'm just happy to put this on wax, bro, because if people were privy to some of our phone conversations, man, listen, they be tuned in. So I think it's going to be a good show today.
Yeah. And what's on your mind, bro?
Hey, dog, look here. How they say, the truth will most definitely set you free, man. And here today, man, we just trying to give the truth. We just want to spread it. We want to sow these good seeds of knowledge and information we got. We're going to laugh about some things while we do it. You know, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a great time because this is what is going to be the springboard into 2025.
Yeah.
Book it.
Right. But I also want to say this, Amp, to what you just said. Either we getting excited too early and setting up for a massive disappointment, or it's going to be exactly what you just said. It's going to be the springboard into 2025. Because the last 3 games go tell you or tell us if we was too excited for nothing. You feel me?
Yeah.
So.
Yep, because they testing.
Yeah. I feel a test. I feel a test too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it though. I like ending on the test.
Yeah.
Make it count. Make the games count.
Yeah. Yes.
These are valuable. These games are I know a lot of people tuned out. This is the time where you should definitely tune in. Because if you want to have any clue as to what's going on in 2025, you got to tune in now even more than you have before, because they're going to start moving some pieces around, moving some guys around to finish out and round out this evaluation. And what we see may lend us more of an idea of what we're going to do next year versus what we may see on the field in preseason. I'm telling you.
So let me go ahead and play this so people can kind of start getting a clue.
Well, I know one thing. We want to run the football today. That's a big part of our game plan.
We appreciate the visit. Thanks so much, Stephen. As we continue countdown to kickoff at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, let's rejoin Brian and Eric.
What? Damn.
I'm gonna show.
We doing what? We are doing what?
We go run the football today, and that was before the Panthers game.
Boy, I done got excited. I'm over here about to flip the table balls.
It was the only game we had so many attempts that we gave it to Rico and Zeke a healthy amount. It was the only game. It was the only game this year we had 40 attempts when Stephen Jones said what he said. It's the only game, bro. So we getting ready to get into this.
Ooh, strap up.
All right.
Strap up.
All right, so we gonna y'all lock in, bro. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me turn this music down and we gonna start the show. All right, here we go. All right, what's up, fellas? All right, so let me kick it off and say this. Amp sent me that. Okay. So Amp sent me that. And so you heard Stephen Jones say, we're going to run the football today. It's a big part of our game plan, right?
Yep.
So let's play the full context and we go just talk about it. Because that obviously I got the clip, but I'm going to play the full context. Y'all check this out.
Here's Eric Giafalo and Brian Broaddus.
With 34 minutes to kick off Cowboys and Panthers, we'll get the Brian Broaddus Zebra Report coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now, we throw things over to Christy Scale, standing by at Bank of America Stadium with Stephen Jones for today's Owner's Box. Christy, take it away.
Stephen, I'm glad you mentioned Brock Hoffman, who steps in for Cooper Beebe today as the starting center. It's a homecoming from him. He's from Statesville, just about 40 miles up the road. But we've talked about him playing with an edge. Babe Laufenberg and I have put the over-under at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter for the first dust-up with Brock Hoffman. Would you like to take the over or the under?
I think it'll happen much sooner than that. He'll have it stirred up early and often.
Okay, that means that McCarthy's going to take the ball if we win the toss. You heard it here first.
Well, I know one thing. We want to run the football today. That's a big part of our game plan.
Wait.
Oh,
See, hold on. See, this is why we got to break that down. How did what he say have anything to do with the context of what they was talking about? Let me play that one more time so y'all can see it. Just from the beginning. Listen, you got to pay attention.
Here's Eric Giafalo and Brian Broaddus.
With 34 minutes to kick off Cowboys and Panthers, we'll get the Brian Broaddus Zebra Report coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now, we throw things over to Christy Scale, standing by at Bank of America Stadium with Stephen Jones for today's Owner's Box. Christy, take it away.
Stephen, I'm glad you mentioned Brock Hoffman, who steps in for Cooper Beebe today as the starting center. It's a homecoming from him. He's from Statesville, just about 40 miles up the road. But we've talked about him playing with an edge.
So they talking about Hoffman.
Babe Laufenberg and I have put the over-under at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter for the first dust-up with Brock Hoffman. Would you like to take the over or the under?
I think it'll happen much sooner than that. He'll have it stirred up early and often.
Okay, that means that McCarthy's going to take the ball if we win the toss.
So she took that context and said, so we must be receiving the ball because you said the over, right?
mm-hmm.
So she's actually in context. But then all of a sudden, out the blue, without being prompted, and Em showed me this, without being prompted, he just say out of nowhere.
Heard it here first.
Well, I know one thing. We want to run the football today. That's a big part of our game plan.
We appreciate the visit. Thanks so much, Stephen.
Great being
As we continue countdown to kickoff at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, let's rejoin Brian and Eric.
So, Em, since you sent me the clip,
What we doing? What we doing?
what we doing? Em, since you sent me the clip, you get first dibs at the breakdown.
Inquiring minds want to know, who is we?
Right.
We want to know who we is, because is it we is in the Cowboys organization? We is in me, Jerry, Steven, Mike, Shotty sat down and decided that it would be best for us, Cooper Rush in the offense, if we ran the ball heavily this game. We don't feel that they can, handle it. So collectively, that's we who. So now it makes you wonder. Now you've heard it from me. You've heard it from Boss Cowboy. I know DMV has said it. You've heard it from a lot of content creators that we have all speculated on the idea of the Joneses meddling with the game plan.
Yep.
And for us to not have really made running a focus at any point in time this year, so we finally decide and name a lead back. Okay, he got elevated attempts. And then you pair that together with the fact that we are going to run the football this game, and then they run it over 40 times. It makes you scratch your head and wonder. So I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to hit it to y'all right there. Like, what are we doing?
It looked like to me, it looked like we starting to come around to the rest of the NFL that figured this out in the off season. So in the playoffs, I showed this before, that out of the 14 teams that made the playoffs last year, only 3 was passing teams. So if you look at what teams did this offseason, they wasn't indecisive like they was the year before, where they tagged Saquon, tagged Jacobs, we tagged Pollard. All those same guys who was tagged 2 years ago all got 3-year contracts in this offseason. So I think the Cowboys are finally starting to come around to the run game being the winning formula. What's your thoughts on that, DMV?
Absolutely, man. And it's something else you was right about a couple years ago. It might even have been last year when you said, when I was like, man, Dan Quinn, he about to play nickel as a base, and he was just like, man, I would just take a tight end and run right at it.
Yeah.
And if you I'm looking at a football game right now, and I'm watching the Eagles and Pittsburgh go at it, right? And I know the Eagles have a good defensive line, but if you look at defensive linemen right now, a lot of defensive linemen are built like a lot of them are slender.
Right.
They don't have trash cans full of dirt no more.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of the old schemes are still working. A lot of the gap scheme stuff, you'll see people do buck sweeps, traps, all that type of stuff. So, I mean, running has come back because people have changed their bodies to rush the passer, to be faster. And if you look at it, the last 4 teams in the playoffs last year, all of them were running teams.
Right.
So the game is going back to what it was. Now, I don't know that defensive linemen will ever get as big as they were before. So running back is more important than ever. And you guys know I've been tooting that horn for a long time. Now, as far as Steven saying, I know one thing, we're going to run the ball today. I said this in the video, and Boss, we talked about it. They realized that we lost that Cincy game because we didn't run the ball.
Facts.
Everybody can talk about their special teams debacle and stuff all they want to, but bro, we was out that thing throwing the ball too much when Rico was cooking 18 for 131. I mean,
I think
they made it a point.
Boom.
I think they made it a point to run the ball because it's the worst run defense, and they said, Mike, you bet not get your ass out here passing. When we got the worst run defense in the league, you better run that damn ball.
Yep.
You even use old formations too. Scott brought it up on his show the other day.
Yeah.
We even used formations where we had Moose Johnson in there. Like we use old ass formations to run the ball on them. So hey, look, I've been saying it. Jerry been slapping the playbook like, here, we're gonna run this week.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do, but hey, y'all better fit some of these plays in right here. It worked well in the 90s with Moose.
Say DMV. I'm so glad you said. Go ahead, because I'm gonna remember. Go ahead, Al.
I was just about to say he got tired of that shit, man. He got tired of Cooper embarrassing them out there. Cooper.
So no, DMV. To your point,
beautiful.
This is why I say our voice matter. I want y'all to really listen. The Bengals was the first time in a while that we was all united on what happened. Because what was everybody focusing on, to your point, DMV? How Rico hit that run at the 6-minute mark for 14 yards, and they passed the ball three times.
Three times in a row.
Straight.
And it was the first time all of us together was like, hold on, where's my button? Hold on, wait. You know I got that button. I got that. Listen, I need this effect. I need the full effect. Hold on real quick. I got it right here. Yeah, this button.
What the fuck is that?
Everybody said together at the same time when they saw that. At the same time, we all said, bruh.
The tweets went out unanimously. Everybody.
Everybody
went
said
out unanimously, bro.
Yes.
Everybody was stuck on that. What? He gets 14. Then you run it.
You
pass
throw
it three times in a row
at the 6-minute mark
and got no yards and took no time off the clock.
Steven,
am I the only one that feels like even if we got that ball back, Mike was still gonna find a way to mess it up?
Yep.
Like I don't think we was gonna run that ball 3 times.
Right.
I just don't. I think we would have ran it one time. We would have got a minimal gain. I mean, he would have threw that ball 2 times, and homeboy would have had to kick
on down.
Now he had to kick a 58-yard field goal. He probably was gonna miss. You know what I'm saying? Like it was gonna be something like that.
So let's get down to this. Is Mike McCarthy crazy?
Bruh.
See, because I don't think he crazy, bro. I don't think he crazy. I think front office been having their hands in the game plan. I think they've been wanting us to pass it because they paid CD and they paid Dak. That's how we move. And this is why I said, because see, this is Mike McCarthy from 2022 when he was talking about Kellen Moore.
I think, but most importantly, the run blocking unit needs to come off the football. They need those 30 attempts a game. That's where the real balance comes from. Needs to come off the football. They need those 30 attempts a game. That's where the real balance comes from. Needs to come off the football. They need those 30 attempts a game. That's where the real balance comes from. Because there's some of those calls were RPOs, run solutions, whatever we call it, and the benefit of it. You're throwing it out to a one-on-one and it gets 6 yards, whether it's CD or Noah, but the run blocking unit's still coming off the ball. So that's the benefit, in my view, of the RPOs and the run solution throws, because those guys need to rip off the ball, because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you. Because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you. Because if you're throwing it all day, then now you have your offensive line playing on their heels, and too much of anything is not going to be good for you.
So he was talking about in 2022 that obviously running the ball 30 times or 30 attempts a game was the key, right? And they talked about it on this show. Check this out.
I mean, it's just a dominance thing. I mean, as you getting 2 yards, 1 yard, and we always try to hammer against the wall. People don't like to hammer against the wall. I've been begging for you. Heard what I said last week. So we got to run the ball 30 times. People, oh man, that's running against the wall. Yes, run against the wall, because you keep chipping, especially strategic spots. All of a sudden the dam gonna break and everything gonna float, and that's what happened. They just kept, and you can see the body language of their defensive linemen. They wasn't coming.
This was after Pitt. This was the first time this year we hit 30 attempts.
As quick as they were, they kind of hesitated. Now if they catch it, that means you got momentum as offensive lineman. And then when the young fella went down, Guyton, and they moved Ty out there, they brought in Bass. Bass, first 2 or 3 series, it took him a minute because they jammed him up. Yeah. But after that, he got into the flow, and they just started moving like a wave. Now, I'm not saying that they need to leave it like that, because the young fella got to get his reps.
He'll be back.
But that is the way to do it. And I know we jumping out of character, but that is how Detroit does it.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting. What'll be interesting is, and to your point, McCarthy himself said that the goal is to get at least 30 carries on the ground. That's
so McCarthy himself said the goal is to get 30 attempts. So I just showed you the clip from 2022, him saying it. You hear Patrick Nosey from, obviously this show is from Dallas Cowboys YouTube, link in the description.
His goal. So he was like, how many did we have after the game? And we were like 31, 32. And he was like, okay, great. And that's his goal.
So that's his goal, right? But then when I go look at, this is your goal. Game 1, your goal is 30. You heard him say it. You heard Patrick Nosey say it. Game 1, 25. Game 2, 21. Game 3, 16 rushing attempts. Game 4, 23. Game 5, Pitt, 31. You win that game. Game 6, 17. How can 17 for the whole group? 8, 19. Week 9, 21. Week 10, 24. Week 11, 18. Week 12, 28. Week 13, 32. Week 14, 25. Week 15. When Steven said we go run the ball again, we hit 40. Is he crazy?
I don't know, bro. I feel like it's a little bit of both, dog. I feel like Mike really ain't established a run in Green Bay like that, like he should have.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike just be kind of blowing hot air sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know that you got some clips that you're gonna bring up before. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring them up later because we already kind of talked about it in the pre-production meeting.
Yeah,
we already talked about it.
You know the bullets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Mike just be talking sometimes, dog. I think Mike has talked about balance for a long time. He talked about being able to want to establish the run, and I think that Mike just it's one of two things.
Yeah,
like either Mike don't want to run the ball, or Dak was checking out of plays, dog.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Or
But I do know one
give
thing.
a third. I would give a third one. Front office wanted them to throw the ball. It could be all three. It could be all of those.
But remember this, though. This is one thing that I do know.
Okay.
I know that when Cooper Rush had his first start this year, I know he stunk it up.
Yep.
And I know that Jerry was talking about how he expected Cooper to come out and produce better than Dak. The way he worded it sounded like he was expecting Cooper to come out here and play better than Dak was playing.
Right.
And if that's what you expect, then why wouldn't we go out there and throw the ball like we had been? I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit it's a little bit weird.
It is weird.
But to me, I mean, it's hard to tell.
It's hard
what
to tell.
Is what.
Right.
But I do know that Cincinnati, had we ran the ball, we win that game a little bit more. If we ran the ball a little bit more. I know that we won this game because we ran the ball a bit more.
Right. And we can fully control that game.
Yep. From pillar to post, we beat their ass from pillar to post.
Right.
I mean, we was beating Pittsburgh from pillar to post, and then we went away from it. What'd you say? 31 attempts and then 17. That was my telltale that Mike don't want to run the football. Because if you look at it, Pittsburgh aren't they a top 4 rush defense? I think they are.
And they had a majority of their rushing attempts in the third and fourth quarter. That game.
Oh my God.
They ramped up Rico to win. That's what made that 30 funny. You know?
Yep.
The saddest thing you just said, DMV, is we don't quite know where this confusion is coming from. You know what I mean? It's just so funny to me that after Steven said, out of nowhere, right, they was talking about Hoffman and who go get the ball first. And then he get out of there just all of a sudden say, yeah, we really want to run the ball today. And you hit 40 attempts. So it's almost like he was freed up. That's what it kind of looked like. But then, you right, though. There's an indictment on Mike McCarthy because of his pass at Green Bay. We can't give him no complete pass.
Not at all. Hell no. I mean, and especially when you play, when you start unloading the clip, everybody gonna be saying, damn, bro, Mike ain't talking about nothing. Mike and his staff ain't talking about nothing. And that's another point too. Mike is in control of his staff. You know, Bones is out here doing some reckless stuff with the special teams. That's on your watch, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's on your watch. A lot of this stuff is on your watch.
Are you over delegating?
I don't think you hiring. To be honest with you, I don't know if you hiring guys that are good enough at their job. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
That too.
Or maybe you too friendly, because Nolan came in here, he stunk it up.
Yeah.
Now here's the difference between him and Zimmer, because Zimmer stunk for a little bit, but you could see that guys were getting better. You could see that guys were in the right spot.
Right.
Guys just didn't trust the scheme.
Right.
With Nolan, it was just holes everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you said over delegating, but I just kind of think he might have been too friendly and too chummy.
This is what I mean by. And shout out to CFT for the CFT raid. I see y'all coming in here raiding us. Appreciate that, my brother CFT. That means CFT gonna be in here in a minute. OG
yes,
CFT. I'm gonna say this real quick in the amp. If you got something, jump in.
All right.
But the reason why I said over delegating, notice that they was crediting Cooper Rush for checking into them runs this week.
I had to hit the ball wrong.
You don't believe it? I think they telling the
Hell
truth.
no.
What?
Hell no.
So
Hell
they lying, bro?
They lying, bro. They lying.
Explain this, bro.
They trying to make you forget that they traded a 4th round for Trey. They trying to make you forget that, bro. It's on the film. Hoffman is talking to the guards next to him, dog. They literally having damn near full conversations.
Okay.
He pointing to the mic the whole time.
So you
And
said
then
it was the center.
He looked
Back the
Yes. Yes, it was the center for a game and a half. Hoffman, and for all I know, he might be saying stuff at the guard position. But all I see Cooper do is maybe like this or something like that. Come on, dog. Like, think about this, right? If you motion Turpin into the backfield,
you want answers?
What audible are you making? If that's a predetermined play, he's not making audible.
You can't handle the truth.
It is what it is. I think they lying.
You want
I think
answers?
they're trying to make it look like they know what they doing, or like, hey, well, we're the ones who got Cooper, and we told you Cooper was good, and Cooper's making all these checks. So why y'all ain't say Cooper was making the checks in 2022?
They did.
Why y'all ain't say Cooper was making the checks when we was getting our ass whooped early in this year? We wasn't running the ball. Come on, bro. He would have been checking into the runs in the games we was getting our asses whooped.
Now,
Sorry,
they did say
he was
making no. They did say he was making them checks in 2022 though, and it was running checks. It was. Are you saying that's the go-to lie?
I'm saying that's the go-to lie, bro. Dog. 17 attempts against Detroit. Because we played Pittsburgh, then it was Detroit. Was it Pittsburgh, then Detroit?
Let me look.
Detroit, then Pittsburgh.
Let me look. It was Detroit, then Pittsburgh, or Pittsburgh, then Detroit?
Detroit, then Pittsburgh.
Okay. Detroit, then Pittsburgh. Okay. So, which game did we play afterward with 17 attempts?
No, I'm sorry. It was Pittsburgh, then Detroit.
Yep. So you was right, DMV. You was
That's
right.
what I'm saying. We at home.
We went from 31 to 17, bro.
But I know that was Dak, though. That was Dak.
Because it was like, damn, because we said that game, that was the winning formula. And then the very next week, they reverted back to the same crap.
And we was mad as hell.
Yep, that's what happened.
DMV.
All right, so I got that. That was Dak. But what games did Cooper Rush start? Because that's where I want to see with these rushing attempts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so let's go back to Detroit real quick. Because, see, this is why I think Steve and them got their hands in this, too. So this was after Detroit. Listen.
It is now time to talk with Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Stephen, how you doing today, man?
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Stephen, we're going through it. That was a real butt whooping yesterday. What were the questions you had about what all happened after that game?
Well, first of all, very surprising. We put together, 2 solid games. I wouldn't say world-beating games, on the road, against good football teams. And certainly surprised, even though we knew it was going to be a big challenge. Detroit's, playing at one of the higher levels in the league right now, of any team in the league. And offensively, they've got a lot of firepower. And, of course, we knew we had some challenges, but, no excuses there in terms of our injuries on defense. And, really thought, offensively we could keep up. But
so remember, see, now let's think about it.
we could keep up.
Exactly. So you feel me? So we come out of Pittsburgh where you win the game with 31 attempts. Then he said, we thought we could keep up. And that's where you only had 17 rushing attempts versus Detroit. So it's almost like when Steven say we, you see McCarthy say we, right? Because he said, we go run the ball versus the Panthers and you get 40 attempts. He said, we thought we could keep up with a high-paced pass offense, and they went passing crazy. Wasn't that a game where Dak threw it 50 times or something?
It was something like that. Now,
I
will say this,
crazy.
against Pittsburgh,
it was Detroit.
Dak was throwing the ball too. No, I'm just saying,
Detroit.
Against Pittsburgh, that was the week where Dak won us the game. So, if we going from Pittsburgh to Detroit, yeah, he won us the game because that was the pass to Tolbert.
I say Rico won the game.
Oh,
But
yeah,
Dak
yeah.
had
But
the key throw, but the person
Yeah.
that was on that drive was Rico because they fed him in that fourth.
Shit, Rico almost lost us a game too.
He did.
Threw it 42 times against Pittsburgh.
So he was still even pass happy that game. We just leaned
They
on Rico
tried to
in the
give
fourth.
Rico that ball. They tried to let Rico win it, and Rico said he got hit sticked, and they knocked the coins out of him, bro.
Yeah.
Rico had 20 carries for 87. Yep.
So what was Detroit? What was the passing attempts of Detroit? We know the rushing attempts was 17. What was the passing attempts at?
Passing attempts for Detroit was 33.
So that's the game he said we thought we could keep up.
Keep up where, bro? Where?
He was talking about keep up with Detroit. That's
no, I'm saying like you look at our receivers. Where was we keeping up?
Right. Exactly. See, and this is the worst part about Detroit. We was injured. That's Mike and them was gone. You see what I'm saying? So let's just think about it. Where Mike McCarthy said himself, you protect your defense by being balanced. And you come out fully unbalanced against a high-powered machine with Detroit. That has a whiff of meddling in me. It does. It has a whiff because it's anti exactly what Mike McCarthy said.
Yeah. So you asked the question.
Yeah.
And my answer is Mike McCarthy is not crazy. But the problem with Mike McCarthy is he plays crazy. See, how the saying goes, if you know better, you do better. Dog, you are on record multiple times stating that you know better. The circumstances that you outlined in your criteria stated that the circumstances were right to run it over 30 times, and you failed to. So when I hear we, I'm saying, who is it really? And see, what I'm really having a problem with is the fact that Mike McCarthy is still here in the way that they talk about him tells me he still has some influence, right? So you still have influence. So if that's your philosophy, right, I feel like you should be loud enough to, even if the Joneses are wanting to be pass happy, that you should have a strong enough conviction to where you sway them over. The fact that they haven't been doing it up until this point, it says that you weak, bruh. I mean, it really does. He's weak.
I think everybody weak though, Amp.
Everybody
Me
ain't
too.
weak.
No, I'm about to say everybody.
You talking about everybody on the staff is weak?
When you take the job here, hold on, let me address this comment real quick. It's a little bit fly. So this guy DJ 100 grand say, I've known for years that the Jones are a part of the game plan as well. You're now just figuring it out.
Oh my God.
So this is the deal, my brother. It's still speculation, homie. All right. The only thing we doing is adding up more and more evidence. We can all tell you the history of what Dez said. We can tell you what Cole Beasley said. We can tell you all that. We know that too, bro. But the difference between me and you is I'm not going to outright just say that I know that. I'm going to say it's a strong possibility. And I'm going to talk more so like DMV to where something is off. So I know you're trying to school us like you telling us like you absolutely know. The only real evidence that they really gave was yesterday when Jerry came out and said that we are a part of the personnel meetings after every game. That's what you know for sure. So, you know, I appreciate you trying to school us, you know what I'm saying, but you ain't schooling nobody, my brother.
But you know what though, boss? What I gotta say to what DJ 100 grand said, and I said this the other day on one of my walk rants a little bit. We so far into Cowboys talk, and we do so much in investigative stuff. Like we're looking for facts, and we're looking for this, and we're looking for that, and we pride ourselves on being very, very smart in what we do. And it's like it's to the point where the people that don't do a lot of the work, where you look at the common denominator and it's like, damn, they more right than us, and we've been right here the whole time, and we so blinded because we just love everything about this team, so we can't want to believe that these things are going on.
Right.
But
And then we also got to be careful, bro. Like, we go get into this later. It's a whole lot of theories that sometimes you got to wait till the evidence come out before you just put your stamp down on a theory. We gonna talk about that a little bit later. Because there's some theories that I'm going to disprove today.
Yeah, because the other part about it too is a lot of the stuff that we had was hearsay, right? It was speculation.
Yeah.
But then when you get situations like this to where you get concrete evidence, you have to go back and look at the facts again and shine the light back on the situation to state why things are the way that they are within the organization.
Right.
Like, see, that's why we want to put a focus on it, because we're trying to get right. We're not trying to get left. We want to get right. And so by trying to get right, we got to figure out where we went wrong.
Right.
So that's why the focus is on that today. That's why the tone of the conversation is in the manner that it is, because we're trying to get right. So we want to highlight and focus on where this thing went left so we can get right, dog.
Yeah.
Proceed.
So I'm going to take this to another level real quick. If we are going to go into the latter part of the season, let's say if DMV, let's say if Cincinnati was the epiphany. Okay? Cincinnati was the epiphany. I'm going to ask both of y'all. Is it more important that we tank, or is it more important that we finish the year with the proper identity?
Identity all day.
Oh, I'll go. Yeah, it's important that we finish the year with proper identity, and to me, I think this has always been our identity. Shout out to my guy Jay Tuck, who pointed it out. You know what I'm saying? He rampage about the running backs and get us a number one running back in here like we've always done. And I pointed this out the other day. If there ain't one thing that the Joneses, if there's one thing they can do, they can build those lines. We've done that time and time again, and it looks like we've done it again, right? We are also really good when we build that O-line, or we have the O-line, and we have a top running back that we've invested in it. Like, when we do that, that's when we are the contenders that everybody looks at and says, damn, Dallas could win it this year. Like, it's typically when we have that run game behind us. Yes. And I think that Dallas needs to say, you know what? This is who we are. Yeah. Every time we try and pay a quarterback and we make him Hollywood, like, we end up like this year started. Think about it. I think Troy Aikman would tell you. I heard him say it on the telecast. I leaned on the run game. Guess what? Troy Aikman was looked at just like Dan Marino, just like John Elway. Those were his peers. But guess what? He was winning the championships. They weren't winning the championships. They was the ones slinging the ball around. Troy and then we were playing complementary football based on what our identity was. Mm-hmm. And I think that you got to, in these next 3 games, you know what the identity has been. So let's build on it. Right. Like Nate said, hey, it might not work here, but you try it at a different angle. And you know what I'm saying? You hit it here. You hit it there. And eventually you'll break it down. You make adjustments in the run game. What we've typically done, and I can't even blame Kellen Moore no more, because in Philadelphia, he doing this. Mm-hmm. You got to make adjustments in the run game. You can't just abandon it. And I think when we had Dak Prescott, we're like, F it, we just going to abandon it. With Cooper Rush, we started off saying we going to throw it, and now we like, yeah, nah, he ain't good enough to do that. We got to stick with the run.
Right.
Man, when you look at the Cowboys historically, right? Take it what you said further. You look at the championship teams, that was the winning formula. You look at even the teams who fell short, but we all admit were great teams, right? That was the winning formula. Your 017, winning formula. 2014, winning formula. 2016, winning formula. Yep. A couple of years later, every year it has always been the winning formula.
It's been and a winning formula. Running the ball every time.
If you employ that every year, damn it, in Jerry's words, you always gonna be around the rim.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
And a tweak
I
or
don't
two
need to be
here
around
and
the
there
rim.
away from being
we can hit layups.
championship caliber. Was that DMV?
I was like, I don't need to be around the rim. We can hit layups when we got the run game. Shit, a
That
layup
part.
is 2 points just like a dunk is.
Bruh, off the backboard.
So y'all check this out. First of all, I want to address this question real quick that my boy Common Sense threw out there. I'm gonna throw this at both of y'all, and then my boy Rome in the building. I told you Rome was on his way. What's up, Rome? Appreciate the raid, bro. I always appreciate the raid, and I see your super chat, my boy Black Wee Woo. I'm gonna come back to it. But we really just kind of talking this through too, and I didn't know how this was gonna go because all of us disagree sometime too.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just a kumbaya show. You know what I mean? This is a show to where we reason this thing out. So Common Sense said, I'm gonna throw this back at you, DMV, and then you out. He said, if we do identity, we don't draft a running back because Rico will look good.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it around.
It's like I can agree to that and I can disagree to that because we had McFadden do the same thing Rico's doing right now, a whole bunch of yards and no touchdowns.
Bam.
And we said, hey, we gonna take this thing over the top and we gonna get Ezekiel Elliott.
Bam.
And guess how many touchdowns he scored that year?
6.
A lot of them.
Mm-hmm. He had 6 as a rookie. So, and see, let me steal your point, DMV, then I'm going to give it back to Imp. I think every time we try a committee, we end up having to overcompensate with a top draft choice. I don't care where the committee is. You know what I'm saying? When we try committee at defensive end, we end up getting Michael Parsons. When we try committee at receiver, we end up getting Amari. We tried committee before with with, like you said, McFadden, and we end up going with Zeke. I think once you try committee, it always answers itself like it's not enough. It's not enough. Every time you try committee, it answers its own question. We thought we could go cheap. Nope, we need to get the guy. We do it every time. So
we did it at corner at one point too, because we was just throwing anybody out at corner,
and we went and got the guy. Yep, we did it at safety. We did it at safety too.
I was about to say, yeah.
We
everywhere
still doing
we
it
try
at safety.
committee.
We went and got Hooker. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's a big signing or a big move, though. I feel like we still kind of did it.
It wasn't a big move. I reached on that. I kind of got a little bit.
I'm about to say because safety is a spot of need right now, where safety might be where you gotta go get it.
Because we finna get emptied out. You're right. Yeah. You're right. El, what was your thoughts, bro? Because I did like that comment by Common Sense.
Bro, I think I like to look at it in the reverse.
Okay.
If they draft a running back early, that will tell us what their identity is.
I agree.
Yes. The truth shall set us free.
Oh.
It'll tell us what the identity is.
You can't handle the truth.
It's going to tell us.
So I'm going to tell, because everybody differ on this. I see my boy Chad. He said, I still want the tank to get the best running back. This is one of them subjects, Ted, where nobody right? But I'm going to tell you why I want us to finish out the season strong. If we run the ball. I want it to be obvious.
Unanimous.
For Dak, how the offense should be. If you win 2 out of the last 3 games with noodle arm Cooper Rush because you finally figured out that you really truly need to get over 30 rushing attempts, and you do it and win 2 out of, because see, any 2 out of these last 3 are going to be big games, y'all. If you beat Tampa, that's big. If you beat Washington, that's big. And if you lose to Philly, we go all say, and if it's competitive, hey, I ain't mad at this. You know what I'm saying? That's what we go all say. If you lose to Tampa but beat Washington and Philly, you go still say, damn.
And that's 2 out of 3. These are playoff teams that we're looking at right now. So you can look at that and say, damn, this is the formula to get over the hump. This is what we need to do to get over the hump.
So give me the formula over the draft pick.
Yep.
To me.
It's a great measuring stick.
Yeah. It tells us exactly what to talk about going into the offseason, too. right? It makes it real clear. It makes all of our voices concise. To your point, DMV, what happened after the Bengals game? We all said together, what the F was that? And then the following week, we had 40 attempts. Yeah, that's because we finally was synced up with having the right voice. That was the key. The key to winning the way that we did on the Panthers was the Bengals.
What the fuck is that?
That was the whole key.
Well, one thing, boss.
My boy that came in like God, bro. I
was like,
I didn't even build an OC in the building. He just came on in. There you go.
It's all good, man. So, man, shout out to DMV, man, and Sports. You guys are doing a fantastic job, by the way. And so, it's three things, man, when you think about this run game. And I just want to put this out here. It's three key points. One, philosophy, right? It's your approach, how you want to play opponents. If you're able to effectively run the ball as a philosophy, that makes everything in the game easier, right? It's practical. Number two, physical, right? It doesn't matter. People can only take so many punches. If you're in a boxing fight, you can only take so many licks before you're going down. That's the same way a good run game does against any defense. It's like a punch. It's like a body shot, a head shot. Eventually, that defense will wear down. All right. And so if you think about that and you think about in context the latest teams that have been really, really good, these guys have all been able to effectively run the ball. So as a formula, philosophy, physical, right? And you think about the psychological aspect too. The psychological aspect is that a defense gets discouraged when you run the football against them. That's why they work so hard to try to stop it. So if you're able to do it effectively against a defense, man, it's basically you are breaking their will. And then if you have athletes at any other position, you're able to really have your way off a play action pass, even down the field, spreading out the defense. So that's my aspects about it, just in terms of why it should be a standard. If you want to be a championship caliber team, it should be standard protocol that we are committed to it. If we think about this, and I'll end here, what are some really good teams that have been fantastic, consistently run the ball over the years? So we have San Francisco. We also have Baltimore. It doesn't matter if Lamar Jackson is hurt or not. These boys can run the football. You have the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? I know there are foes, but the reality of it is they commit to a great offensive line, and if they haven't been able to run the ball well, the next year they figure out how to run the ball well. So it's a master ingredient to being a really, really good football team.
So, OC, obviously you at the house, so I'm gonna ask this question to everybody here now, and I think this is the pivotal question. And then we go show some more facts real quick. This first question comes from Regina. I'm going to pass this to you, Amp, and then you, DMV, and OC. I want to hear from you as well. She asked a great question. So did Joe Cook. Does Jerry continue this with Dak, though? And then, a question that's strong with that is, does Dak believe in the formula? Let's go with that. DMV, you first, and then we go around the room. Those two. Because to me, those are the most pivotal questions today.
I think those are questions you need to ask Dak. And I think that the next time somebody does interview him, they need to ask him.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is the second time that we've got a sample size with Cooper Rush, and we've been winning games with this type of formula. Right. This is the second time that it's happened. And the first time Dak started off that way, where we were running the football when he was nursing his finger or whatnot. Now this time we're looking at it and it's like, all right, bro, are you checking out of plays, or when you guys come up with your game plans, are you guys not leaning towards trying to get the run going? Like, what's going on? So I think those questions, I don't know that we can answer those here. I think though it's going to take like a somebody who's a reporter who does talk to Dak and ask him that question or those questions.
Amp.
So looking at it, man, you said does Jerry do it with Dak? And to me, that's an automatic yes. The fact that he just read up his contract.
And then also, does Dak believe in the formula? So
yeah,
let me play this real quick. This go bring it home a little bit, and then you and the OC answer this.
And of course, Cooper Rush was a guy that I know we all thought against Cincinnati. We could have gotten a little more out of Cooper. But boy, is he making a huge difference in terms of really the running game. His
you flooded. Stop.
His, lining up, what he's doing actually has opened that running game up for us.
But DMV don't believe that for nothing.
Hell no,
bruh. It was so much that pissed me off about it, but the biggest part was the fact that you did everything you could to discredit Rico. Like, goddamn, say Rico is better. Like, damn, dog. Yeah, the quarterback, telling everybody where they supposed to go, and
it's the run scheme. He said Rico last. You right.
Hey, Rico and Hoffman, because Rico and Hoffman, because they don't want to admit that Zach Martin was out that joint looking washed.
Trash.
Like, I mean, they don't want to admit that. I mean, Zach was out there, and it was just like I'm doing film breakdowns. Like, yo, is this dude hurt or washed? And then Jerry still won't even commit to the fact that he might even retire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they paid him that damn money.
Yep. And they in on all the personnel meetings. OC, what's your thoughts? Because I think Dak, if I think Dak got something to if Cooper Rush is really checking into these running plays, my boy DMV ain't buying it. But let me play devil's advocate, right? Dak, like, to me, somebody in there, including Dak, need to be like, bro, we need to run the ball, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that, OC?
I think it's a two-headed monster on this situation. I said this Tuesday that Dak on one hand just got over $250 million. So if they want to throw the ball 50 times, he's a man that's going to go out here and try to prove he can do it and win. On the other side of it, they need to be balanced and run the football. I don't think Dak is against it. I think Dak is for winning football. I think that Dak actually relishes the fact that if we can effectively run the football, that actually takes a lot of pressure off of Dak. And I've seen him perform better in the play-action pass when we're able to effectively run the football. I think that he is able to win games by throwing the ball 40 times if he has to do it. But ideally for Dak Prescott, somewhere between 33 and 37 attempts is really his sweet spot in terms of performance. If you go back and look at his numbers, he has put up huge numbers throwing the ball over 40 times. I'm not disputing that. But I'm saying that Dak is really better if you don't have to put it on his shoulders in that way. 2016 will tell you that. A couple times in recent years will tell you that as well. And I think that Dak is a very, very mindful person that is okay with whatever will turn into winning football. I just think that Mike McCarthy went away from it. Mike McCarthy got pass happy. He went away from it. He panicked because we didn't have the appropriate personnel, and we had a old and young offensive line not really playing at its best at the beginning part of the year. And so I think that kind of fell into him saying, hey, we're just going to open this thing up and throw the ball around the football field.
That's true. That's true. We were not playing as well up front.
So, I'm gonna ask this question, then I'm gonna show y'all some stuff to where I'm gonna prove that it was some major exaggerations going on. Okay, and it's gonna really be up to the Cowboy Nation. Is do you want the truth or do you want popular theories that I'm going to disprove today? Okay. But let me go around. I'm going to start with you this time, OC.
Yep.
What would you want to see going forward from our run game? Or from Mike McCarthy?
You mean the last 3 games of the regular season? Or you mean that? I just think he needs to be a guy that tries to control time of possession and the tempo of the game. I think when you play against good teams, and you've had injuries and you have your backup quarterback in there, you want to control time of possession. And running the football allows you to achieve that and play action pass enough to keep them honest so they don't stack the box on you. I think that's what you really want to see. And I think you want to continue to mix it up with pulls and draws and some traps here and there. Also some pin and pull stuff to the outside with mid zones and some stretch plays. And I think if you mix up your run looks, that makes the defense have to react and take different angles. And it can give you the chance to make plays. If a linebacker takes a false step, if he's late, if a defensive end gets hooked, if a defensive tackle gives up some leverage and gets pushed down the field, just a yard or two. In the NFL, you don't have to get blown off the ball like 10 yards. It could be a yard or two, and that's just enough to create a seam for a good running back to make something happen. So that's what I think. That's my opinion.
I forgot to play this real quick. Check this out, and then I'm going to go around to DMV and out.
You know, Steven, Rico seems like a good runner. And I know the opportunities weren't there early in the season, but it appears the blocking and the trust in that blocking is far better than it was earlier in the season, too. What are your feelings on the way the run game's going and how Rico is performing in that right now?
Well, everybody talks complimentary football, and I think a lot of it goes, too, with the...
He said everybody talks complimentary football. Listen to Steven. It sounds like
was that a shot?
Yes! Thank you, bruh! But it gets worse. Check this out. See, you called it DMV. Hold up.
Forming in that right now.
Well, everybody talks complimentary football, and I think a lot of it goes, too, with the way our defense is playing. And I think there was just an uneasiness there about defensively. We were having a hard time after the Cleveland game stopping the run and, giving up quite a few points. And, we just weren't, committed to the run. I think we felt like.
Weren't what?
Woo! Yeah, it was a shot. Everybody talking complimentary football. Y'all won't run the damn ball.
Who you talking about?
You talking about Mike?
That's why I'm saying when he sounded that alarm pregame, we gonna run the ball today. All of a sudden, Mike McCarthy got 40. Hold on real quick.
We were always, playing, from behind and needing to score and didn't commit to the running game. I think.
Who was he taking a shot at?
Mike.
When you commit to the running game, I think it settles everything down, and I think that's what we've done the last month. And
if he say we did this the last month, what is he saying happened the previous months?
We was throwing that damn ball around the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I know we lost the Cincinnati game, but we're putting together good games where the defense is playing well, the offense is running the football, and taking the big passing plays that are there with CD and Ferguson and Schoonmaker and the rest of the receiving core. Obviously, Turk's playing a huge role in this, both special teams and on offense. But I just think we're playing complementary football, and I don't think we were doing that very well. Leading up to this stretch.
He took multiple shots at Mike McCarthy on that, and I ain't crazy.
And you a lawyer, bro. I see the layers behind this. I see how you lining it up.
Yeah.
I see how you lining it up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I should have been a lawyer. I really do. I think I would have been a cold lawyer, bro. For real.
Yeah. I see exactly what you're doing, bro. And this goes to my point because I know what the next clip is.
Mm-hmm.
When I asked everybody out there, hey, where that bad film at? Show me that bad film. Like, the reason I was asking for the bad film, like, everybody, it's out there. Just look for it. It's out there. Blah, blah, blah. Bruh, we wasn't running the ball.
We wasn't running the ball,
It was a
bro.
trick question, and y'all fell for it. We wasn't running the ball.
Right.
And this man wasn't even starting.
Right.
He wasn't starting.
Yeah. So
he only had like 36 rush attempts at that point, period. It wouldn't have took you a whole lot of work.
Somebody asked why we ain't lean on Rico earlier. It didn't matter. Rico ran for 6.5 against Atlanta for 12 carries. It ain't matter if we leaned on Rico. We wasn't running the ball. We were just getting blown out and just playing cops and robbers out there throwing the ball.
So you laid it up for me. Now we finna get, and we gonna figure out if Cowboy Nation.
You want answers?
We finna figure this out right now. So what if I told you a lot of the most popular theories have been greatly disproven? Okay. So it's very popular, right? That people are trying to say the reason why Rico didn't get his carries is because of the politics of Zeke. What if I can show you and prove to you with facts that this was the vision of Jeff Blasko, the running back coach? If you think I'm lying, this is from August. This is if you want the truth, though. Now, it's a lot of people gonna be la 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 because they want the lies. But I want you to listen. Tell me if you want the truth.
With Rico, and we asked him about, doing.
So he said Rico. So this was a question to Rico, who was asked about running back by committee.
This running back by committee and how he feels like it's going to work. He said, well, we don't know yet, but we have faith in the coaching staff that it will. How do you manage kind of the expectations player by player?
How do you manage, OC, the expectation player by player?
When you're doing a running back by committee?
The way I kind of foresee, I see it being a little different, by week.
Damn, Zeke getting blamed for that. Who said what they see? Jeff Blasko. Who getting blamed for the week-to-week changes that was happening under committee? Zeke.
Based off the opponent, based off of what we're doing from a personnel standpoint, based off of how they're feeling, based off the special team contributions. I think.
But boss, it's politics. Boss, it's politics, boss. See, after Pittsburgh game, they went away from Rico. Oh no, it looked like Jeff Blasko always had this vision.
There's a number of factors that are going to go into it, but the way we've been practicing, we're kind of putting the guys in situations where they're not so much in the team period, but in these walkthrough settings, putting them in for 4 or 5 consecutive plays, and then the next guy goes in and kind of takes over. So I think the running back by committee, I feel like everybody across the league kind of operates that way.
Which wasn't true. That was your bad theory. And then Zeke is getting blamed for what you did. No. Now, this is timestamp. This is before the season even started.
It's August, yep.
This is in August. And he was telling you what they was going to do. That's why they actually went away from Zeke after the Browns game.
What the
we're making probably a little bit too big of a deal of it, but we'll see how it plays out as the season goes on.
That.
Imagine
his
that
old musical chairs ass philosophy.
That was him. But just imagine that you Ezekiel and Cowboy Nation is blaming you for politics on Rico not being RB1, and the whole time it was the vision of the running back coach Jeff Blasko. And it's timestamped. This is undeniable. And he laid out what the vision of committee was and what he was going to do. And then when he did it, we began to blame Zeke.
Because it was easy. It was easy to do that.
Yep. And that's why when I started off, that's why I didn't go with what old boy DJ 100 Grand said. Where, how did y'all not know that? Because everything sometimes these dots look like they connect, but they don't.
Yeah.
And we got to be careful. Sometimes we connect dots that don't connect, and we be having people out there looking guilty that's innocent. Just like we did with Dan Quinn when we said he didn't like little linebackers. That ended up being a whole lot.
I see it being a little different, by week. I see it being a little different, by week.
It just, do you want the truth? It gets worse. You want to see where it get worse? Watch this.
He's talking about how you guys are limiting his reps, make sure he's going to be fresh.
Yep.
Is there like a...
This is about Zeke. Limiting his reps. Watch this.
Actual snap count that you keep on him, or is it just by a feel?
It's more of a feel thing, and obviously we're communicating on a regular basis there. But that is the objective, obviously, with the 17 games and, you know, the length of the season and the grind of training camp. Obviously, I think he's had 2,500 touches over the course of his career, so he's been, you know, he's taken his share of hits. He doesn't need any you know, unneeded hits there. So we've been smart about that piece of it. But I think it is going to be a feel thing as we go through the whole process.
I don't think he's a Zeke fan. Notice how his body language changed, and he took several sides in talking about Zeke, and his whole demeanor changed. I don't like that.
But check this out. Check this out.
If he says, hey, I want to get a couple more today.
Yeah. We're revving him up. Yep.
Now, wait. This is the important part. Hit that button one more time. Because he listened to him.
We go through the whole process.
If he says, hey, I want to get a couple more today.
Yeah. We're revving him up. Yep.
Hey, wait. So y'all basically said Zeke has say. Am I tripping, DMV? DMV, am I tripping? Okay.
No.
So y'all said Zeke has say.
He also said it depends on how they feel. In that clip earlier, it said it depends on how they feel. So if I feel like I want majority of the carries this week, you gonna give me majority of the carries this week? Is that what you're telling me, Jeff Blasko?
That's what you were saying.
Hey, can I just get to the bottom of this? It sounds like we don't know what we're doing. That's what it sounds like. We don't know what we're doing. We just going by the seat of our pants right now, bro. We don't have a clue. Like, Rico ain't never played a full season. He ain't never taken the lead role. Zeke has. We don't know what we got. We going to try and figure it out as we go. That's what he's saying.
You know, it's a phenomenon in today's world. It's amazing the people that make choices and make decisions are in certain roles and what they do. It's really unique just to hear that philosophy. I never heard that from any other running back coach ever, like in my life. Ever. Now, maybe he's a phenom and he has a unique twist, and he probably does of some sort. But, you know, it's a thing. It's a word. It's an R word. It's called rhythm. It's called rhythm. Certain positions need rhythm. You can't give me 5 carries, take me out, put me in the fourth quarter and expect me to be in rhythm. You can't give me 5 carries, give me no carries the next 2 games, throw me in on the goal line and say, hey, go get it, boy, and expect me to have any type of rhythm or feel. It's a thing called rhythm. And running backs need rhythm. And the fact that you have to have running back by committee is proof A positive, exhibit A, on why you need some more running backs. Because if you have to run through 2 or 3 running backs to get some stuff done, you don't have the right personnel. No offense to anybody, you don't have a guy. You're saying we're using a bunch of guys because we really don't have a guy. That's what you're really saying. And in the NFL, on any good team, you need to have in key positions, and running back is one of them, you need to have at least one guy.
Can I try to bring this home?
Go ahead, boss.
OC, you not a virgin.
No, I'm not. I got 4 kids. I did at least 4 times, I think.
DMV, you not a virgin.
3 kids, bro. I'm one short of the OC.
Amp is not a virgin. So and I'm pretty sure all of us, sadly, has been with probably a woman that was outside of our main one, right? In our past. Mm-hmm. So at some point in our history, we probably
black men don't cheat.
No, none of us cheated though. That's the difference. None of us did that. So I know I've had certain women that like you to talk to them a certain kind of way. And they like it a certain kind of way. They like spankings.
Yes.
Right? So you say, she tell you, spank me. That turns me on. So you getting down. No. because you was told, hey, spank me. I like this. So you get down and you.
Will y'all please cover your kids' ears if any kids listening to this show, please.
Disclaimer.
Sorry, y'all. Y'all should have told you to put the kids away. I'm just
I'll
trying to give you this metaphor.
All right.
Then you start the process and she turn around and say, "Ah, are you trying to rape me?" That's what Cowboy Nation did to Zeke. Cause they told Zeke, you can't speak up. They told him, when you feel like you want more carries, come to the office. That's what they said. Right? And so then Rico fumbled pit game. He fumbled. Instant at the pivot. He could have lost the game. We leave that out. And then we say it was politics because Zeke was told, you can come to my office when you feel like you want more reps. I just showed you the clip. So when he says, hey, y'all not really feeding none of us, but on the goal line, that probably should have been me. What did we do? What did we do? Rape! It's politics! Ah!
Boss about to get us canceled, bro.
Hey, I made it clear it's a metaphor. If you don't understand metaphors, bro, I'm sorry. I can't help you, bro. Because I clearly said it was a metaphor. But that's what we did to Zeke, bro. Zeke sitting over here innocent, bro. He's sitting over. They told Zeke, you can't come say it. That's messed up, bro.
He used the safe word and all, bro.
Yeah.
Used the safe word and all.
Yeah.
That's actually happened to me before. Like, we went to overtime in high school with this team we shouldn't have went to overtime with. I touched the ball one time on the game-winning drive, and I'm like, Coach, I probably should have touched the ball all game.
Yeah.
But we won. And then the coach blackballed me kind of the rest of the year, dog.
Yeah. It's dirty like that.
I've been there. Same here.
And it get worse. And you're right. Zeke did get a chance in the red zone, and he fumbled too. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the Cowboy said, spank me.
And guess what?
Don't tell me you can spank me because I like it. Don't tell me you can, you know what I'm saying? I know that metaphor might sound wild, but don't tell me that. Don't tell me you can come open my door anytime you want to when you feel like you want to get some more. And then when I come to it, scream politics.
But boss, is it incumbent upon the person to have the wisdom to know if somebody says they have an open door policy, but they're historically closed-minded? Should we believe that you really have an open door policy if historically you've operated in a closed-minded way? Should we believe your words, or should we be smart enough and understand what your actions really have been?
I'll put it like this. If I signed here, I took you at your word.
Okay.
So that means we likely had a conversation of expectations, right? And then I signed here based on our discussion.
After you establish the ground rules.
We established the ground rules. I'd like the Dallas Cowboys said I'd like to be spanked. And I said, cool.
Never been spanked.
No, I'm just saying from my metaphor.
Right. But OC's right, and I'm gonna tell you why OC's right. Week 1, we won that game when we started
running
Zeke and Rico when he came in, and part of it might have been because he didn't get the rhythm that he wanted to get. But Rico didn't play well week 1, and everybody wants to forget that. But Zeke made a couple plays early. And then the defense made some plays, and we blew Cleveland out. The very next week, Rico was starting. And not only was Rico starting, but Deuce Vaughn was in before Zeke was.
Yep.
Zeke started getting stuff late in that game. So I mean, for us to really blame that, I think you got to listen to what dude's saying.
Right.
And what he's saying and the actions behind it.
Right.
The actions fit
Exactly what he
with
said.
what he said.
Right.
And so if you Zeke, and you know what happened week 1, right? We going down, we struggling, and all of a sudden, and then you bring up that point where homeboy fumbles. What he's supposed to do?
Right.
What he's supposed to do?
What he's supposed to do? It's real simple.
Look, I got a different look at it. I'm gonna tell you this: the Joneses have been spanked before, and I'm gonna tell you when. The time that they were spanked is the time that Jimmy Johnson was in power, because Jimmy Johnson would spank them with his philosophies, spank them with his culture, spank them with his ideas, spank them with his scheme and how he thought football should have been handled. That's the time when they were spanked. And guess what? They won and they didn't like it. And they've been pounding ever since. And that's why they said we're going to win our way. And that's why they continue to bring in the types of coaches that they do, because they're bringing in somebody who ain't going to spank their ass. That's the problem.
And see, Dre Medic said it best. He said Rico had bad vision early. True. That rhythm got him right at the most. Both of them are true.
And you feed him right now. You feed him when that rhythm is the way it is. Absolutely,
right,
bro.
Do you have that other clip of Shotty talking about Rico?
No, but just tell, because I know what you're talking about. Just go ahead and tell them what's on the clip from this week.
They interviewed Schottenheimer on Monday after the game, and they were asking him about Rico, and he said, Rico was good, and he's been improving, all that good stuff, right? And he also said Rico's the type of back, he gets better as the game goes on.
Right.
He gets stronger as the game goes on.
Right.
And I said, well, my God, damn, the OC knows that he gets better as the game goes on.
Right.
So why, when she's saying it's good, keep going, do we stop Mike McCarthy?
Right.
Mid-stroke.
Right.
At 12 attempts, 15 attempts.
So,
dog, you left me hanging. You owe me 15 more pumps, bro.
Because I'm gonna be honest, most of Cowboy Nation getting it wrong. They keep saying that they should have made Rico RB1 from the beginning. Let me tell you something. It wouldn't have made a difference because none of the backs was getting enough attempts. None.
Feed somebody.
That's why Amp came up with the campaign Feed Somebody. All right, and listen, y'all. If y'all thought that was Exhibit A, it get worse. And I'm going to play this and then I'm done.
You've been with Zeke, obviously before, but now up close and personal. What have you learned about him, being in the room with him?
He's a great leader, great mentor for the young guys, great sounding board for me. It's been phenomenal having him in the meeting space. And like I said, we got a full room, a very competitive room, but he does a great job, through his personality of keeping it loose. And in addition to that, providing his expertise that he has based off the experience that he's had over 9 years now. So he's been a great addition for the room.
Damn,
I think this is so
I heard
sad,
that different.
bro.
I heard it different this time.
Okay, talk to him.
OC was right. I saw the body language, but really what I heard in that is I can't really tell him shit. You know what I'm saying? I really heard that. Like, with the soundboards and all that type of stuff. And yeah, there ain't much I could tell him. He's been a great leader since he's been here. But, I mean, this 9 years or whatnot.
What's the real reason he can't tell him shit? Because he ain't shit.
There you go.
Let's say it.
Yeah. Yep.
I just think it's sad, bro.
Unqualified coach.
I think this whole thing is sad.
I didn't say it. I just said in a really nice way, guys, that it's amazing how people get in certain positions and the decisions they make by being in those positions. It's crazy, man.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
He been a sounding board. That means he telling you, huh? Like, we doing this what? And he's I mean, I saw the body language. I saw it this time. I saw exactly, and he answered it politically, but his body and the actions are saying two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things.
So I'll say this, man. This whole thing was a mess. Now, I'm glad that we starting to figure it out now. That's the good news. So we go sum it up. We go give our final words to this show. The first thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start with me. Then we go all give our final words to this show. This whole thing is sad to me because I do get to where the dots did appear as if it was politics. But if you watched this whole show and saw the evidence that we laid out, that this had nothing to do with Zeke, and you still saying it, it's messed up. That's number one. Because to me, it wasn't Zeke. It wasn't Rico. It was Mike McCarthy in front office. You can't give 3 backs 17 attempts where CeeDee Lamb go get 2 or 3 of them, so you're really giving them only 13, 12, and then blame the backfield for their failure. You can't tie the hands of your head coach and really appear, because we don't know this for absolute, but the tea leaves looks like y'all was putting y'all hand in decision making, forcing us to be pass happy, but the backfield was getting the blame. Then when you finally figure it out after the Bengals, you come out and you say, we go run the ball. Stephen Jones did. And you see a success on the running game where it wasn't even Rico looking good. Guess who also looked good against the Panthers? Zeke. It tells me that we all get it wrong. Because it's been a lot of false speculation according to the evidence laid out on this man. It's been a lot of he talked. You said he could talk. They went away from Rico. They went away from Zeke after the Browns. So when we really take this to court and we look at the evidence, it says that it wasn't how we stated it was. The only good news is this, is maybe we figured it out at the end. And if we figured it out now, I want to really see them commit to it. And I'm going to get to y'all super chats too. That's the last thing I'm going to do. But we got to finish the season with all of them boys getting the attempts. Started off with Rico. It make the most sense. But when it's all said and done, all of them boys better touch the ball. And I'm talking about it better be 30 plus rushing attempts between the whole committee. Period. Especially if any one of them is averaging 5 or below or above. It's just that simple. And if you do that, it truly gives you a chance to create the winning formula. That's my final words before we take our super chats. OC, it's on you.
Yeah, the Cowboys have to understand the basic fundamentals of putting together a winning football team. And one of them offensively is the ability to consistently run the ball. It is the most controlled thing you can do. It has the least amount of variables. It really strengthens the psychology of your team when they're able to do it. It affects the psychology of the other team. And, shifts and changes and adjustments are needed. But when you're changing your whole algorithm mid-season, it's just showing that you had the wrong algorithm to begin with. And I think that this is the case with the Cowboys this year. And unfortunately for us, we're just trying to figure this out at the tail end of the season. So we'll see what happens next. The Cowboys need another running back for sure. Yeah. And the Cowboys probably need to evaluate very closely who is making decisions surrounding these running backs.
Right. Let me get to these super chats and then DMV. We get your final words. My boy Wee Woo said it was no way to properly evaluate any of the running backs. Facts. The sad part is you're not gonna really hear that. That's not popular to say, but that's actually very true, bro.
Yep. So
then JJ say, you a freaky A ninja boss. Yeah. So you got a problem? So
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, when you brought up that joint, man, I was having flashbacks. Like, hold on.
Oh, y'all don't spank it. Oh, y'all don't spank it. Y'all get out of here. Well, I might be by myself on that. I done left my hand palm. I saw my whole hand palm one time. I was like, ooh, you might have hit that too hard. Anyway, we should start a movement to change our preseason regimen to avoid super slow ramp ups. No more sitting out.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I like
until
it.
week 1. Build a foundation. Yeah, that Chris 214 go crazy.
Yeah, because and before you go to the next one, bro, if you think about it, Rico's having a good season. Rico played in the camp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I do think that that's part of it.
Yeah. Nah, he go hard. And then my boy Cowboy Politics, he just threw in a last minute super chat. He said, boss, you figured it out, big dog. Jeff Blasko. Actually, I thought about Tuck because Tuck was the first one that played that clip.
Yeah, he did.
He was the first one. The context was different. He was highlighting committee. So I was thinking about, I said, let me go back and look at it. So Tuck was the one that pointed me in the direction of that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm going to always give my boys credit, man. When they
Great find.
Wasn't Blasko a line guy? He was a line coach, right?
Yeah. This is first time.
Yeah,
being, and so let me give everybody the credit. So Amp was the one that found the Stephen Jones clip from the day of, which was the pivotal clip, which kind of shows that it looks like they starting to move towards being a running offense, which to me your more successful teams are doing. So let me tell y'all something. It's time to get off the false doctrine of the league is a passing league. If you haven't figured out yet that it has pivoted, you behind. If you still saying the league is a passing league, you have been left behind. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah. So let me get to these last super chats. I only got 2 more. Chris 214 go hard. This is what this boy said. Feed somebody. Yep. That started from Amp. You know what I'm saying? That feed somebody campaign. A lot of people don't understand what that campaign mean. That was basically saying y'all need to commit to somebody and give them enough attempts to get in rhythm. That's actually what we truly looking at right now with Rico. That's what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really going on. Is they finally committed to feeding somebody. That's what happened. Yep. And so then when did West Coast offense not feature the running back? So let me OC, we got you, bro. Go ahead and check out, man, because I know you gave your final words unless you had something else.
No, go ahead. You good.
Okay, bro. Hey, OC, we appreciate you, man, for the coming in the back door, bro. That was a special surprise, bro. We always appreciate your commentary. That was
you cooked today, bro.
Yeah, that was
as always,
surprise, bro. Yeah, and you know, bro, anytime, bro, you want to come in the back door, bro, it just make the whole show dope. Appreciate you, big dog.
Salute, guys. Appreciate you.
So DMV, it's on you, man, for your fight. Oh, I had some more, but I ain't going to even play it. I played too much. DMV, it's on you.
Yeah.
That boy still have more bullets.
I still got bullets, bro.
Hey, Amp, I appreciate you for giving that pivotal Stephen Jones clip.
Yeah.
Because he said what we were all thinking.
Right.
And, you know, where he talked about in games that we were getting blown out early in the year and how the run can kind of settle things down and all those type of things, right? With knowing those things and then listening to Jeff Blasko, I don't think Zeke really had to go up to the office and say anything. Those discussions were happening in the personnel meetings, and Jeff Blasko probably had to answer for these dumbass substitutions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody in the room was happy with it. I don't think anybody was happy with their role
They
or
all was mad.
lack of rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody was
so
mad.
I don't.
Yep.
Exactly. I don't think it was just Zeke. I think it was Rico. Deuce is probably, you know what I'm saying, feeling a certain way. Lipke. I mean, Lipke probably feel the worst, and nobody's talking about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we're not using him or using him correctly. You know what I'm saying? So
I think Hunter
finally
Luke is
used
the
him
low key
last
the biggest
game.
waste.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So I really want to use this this final word to talk to Rico. If Rico is watching, and say, hey, bro, run that bag up, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Run the bag up. Don't get no hometown discounts. This is your shot. Run the bag up, champ. Do what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being in rhythm. Keep being in control. And we'll see what happens. But do not give these guys a hometown discount, because what's going to happen, you're going to be looking at the comments, and you're going to feel exactly how Zeke felt.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself, man.
Ooh.
And that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Gangster final word. Oh, no, I got to jump in on that. God, dog. You right. He got one shot, DMV. You right. You got to be selfish right now. You really do. And really, especially with these 3 games coming up.
Well, all he need to do is speak up then.
Right? Better watch Cowboy Nation. They're carrying on you. They're carrying. Did DMV, you know what they gonna start saying?
Ray.
He greedy.
Rico ain't been nothing since we paid him.
Yep.
We should have let him go.
Cowboy
we should have
Nation.
drafted running backs.
Please don't do with this new running back what we've done with Zeke and Pollard, what we've done with Pollard and Rico, and what we're doing right now with Rico and Zeke. Stop fighting about which one should get it first. It's one of the dumbest fights that we have every year.
All the time, dog.
Man, it's crazy. It took all of this for us to get to this point. Like, things we've been speculating on, we had ideas about. It amazes me that because they love talking so much, the Jones family has finally told on themselves. That's right. America's team, y'all's team, my team. But you've stumbled upon something, and it has your team as depleted as it has been. It has them trending in a different direction, a direction different from what your team took early on in the season. It actually is posing currently as a potential aha moment, a potential Damascus Road situation, if you will.
The Bengals
like
was
a come
Damascus.
to Jesus moment, like, oh my God, this is the revelation. We're supposed to be running more than we pass.
Like the
Look
other
at us.
teams
It
that
doesn't
made the
matter who the
playoffs.
quarterback is. We can be successful when we turn around and do this.
Right.
Oh, amazing. But you know what? Cowboys Nation, y'all might hate me for this. There's a possibility that they still might be reluctant to change.
Oh, God.
Which is why you got to sound your voice.
That's right.
Which is why DMV has to continue to sound his voice.
That's right.
Which is why Boss has to sound his voice. I need to do the same on my channel. We all play a part. You got to sound your voice. Let it be known that this is what Cowboys Nation want, because this is when Cowboys Nation, when the product on the field is at its most optimal. That's what we want, because we're pushing the 6. We attempting to get better, but you know what?
Before you go, before you say it, before you close out, was you finna get your close?
No,
Okay, keep going.
Even should they not outright embrace this, and we should start past happy, right? let's still focus back to this point to say, hey, you tried something a little different this year. It's not working. Go back to what you know.
Right. Go back to what you know. Before you give your super closeout, I want to say one thing about my boy DMV real quick that I've been thinking about all day, but I want to say is my boy DMV, he's a warrior on Twitter, right? Respectable warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But it's some, I'm going to be very frank when I say this. It's some stat nerds that like to sneak this, my boy. Especially on the topic of this running game. Let me say this, and I just mean this. DMV played running back in college. So I played in college, so I know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is hours of film. Specifically about running back. Okay? DMV, when it comes to running back, should be respected.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might think it's different. Respect DMV. DMV put out film every week when most of y'all don't show y'all damn work.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't even show you work. You say, trust us, because we said it. Now, DMV shows his work.
Don't forget he called for running back last year, too.
Sure did. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Amp. But I'm honestly, frankly, tired of the disrespect.
Yep.
I'm tired of people treating my boy and new media as if we not more qualified than them. How are you gonna tell me, who played college like DMV, that I don't understand film?
Yeah.
What? Like, I know you can't play college ball without at least watching 2 hours of film a day. Am I lying, DMV?
And that's practice.
That's just
your
practice.
practice.
That's just practice. And that's minimum. You go watch about an hour before practice and an hour after practice. Then you got to go watch more film on your own.
Your first pass, really, you're doing 6 hours.
Yeah.
Your first pass.
So to put this in perspective, DMV got a bachelor's degree in running back film.
Enough curriculum hours.
He got that much curriculum hours on running back
all
film.
22 decades before, or a decade before they even allowed you all to get all 22.
Right. Me too. I was looking at all 22 before, when it wasn't even available to the public. But I really want to say that because people be looking down their nose at people like DMV and Amp and me who played. So I just that's why I had to cut you off, Amp. I really didn't mean to cut off your final word.
That's dope.
But I really do be seeing disrespect, bro. I see people trying to question him, bro, like in a way that's disrespectful. And it's like, frankly, bro, you haven't played. You right. You got a good media job, but you didn't go to war like my boy. So I just want to be clear. He is way more qualified than 99% of you old media people.
Dang, bro. And here's the crazy thing, bro. I'm not even a person that if I'm wrong, that I won't say I'm wrong.
Right.
That's the thing. So if I'm one of those people and I ask you, show a little bit of homework, or, what I'm saying, where did you see it? Maybe you saw something I didn't. I'm not asking to be a jerk. I'm asking because I just don't believe that you just smear people off of your own opinion.
Right.
Without really having any basis behind it, just because you don't like the person or you don't like an idea or something like that. So
right.
That's just me. I'm a solutions-based person, engineer degree in school. So I'm always going to look for solutions or why something works the way that it does. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, boss, for saying that. And guess what, guys? I see everything. So I might not respond to everything. And I've been practicing something called discernment. And I might not say nothing, but I see it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, man. All right, now Am, go ahead, bro. My bad, bro.
Man, look, I ain't had a whole lot left for y'all Cowboys Nation. Look, it's the Bucs Sunday night. Baker and them boys coming. Look, it's another opportunity for us to evaluate. You heard the case study laid before you tonight. You know what it is. You know what to look for. So look, guess what? I caught it on a humbug this past week. Now I'm damn sure going to be listening in to hear what Steven got to say we're doing on Sunday, because he has a master's. Not only did he has a double major. Not only does he have a chemical engineering degree, he also masters in French with all the we that he's been talking this year. But nonetheless, it's still evaluation season. We still got some more squeezing in the season. As I said, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good becomes your better. And your better becomes your best. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, y'all be blessed.
Well, I know one thing. We want to run the football today. That's a big part of our game plan.
We appreciate the visit. Thanks so much, Steven. As we continue countdown to kickoff at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, let's rejoin Brian and Eric.